Lord God Almighty, I wonder just how many times his mother chewed some of this gum. Just as hard. Gum. Well, I'll be a son of a bitch if you ain't around here at 11:30 at night farting around with a dark and a pair of scissors and a paper sack. Now tell me, Sam, what the devil are you collecting that needs the cover of night? Go back to sleep, McMurphy. It don't concern nobody else. One of the duties of a night aide is to keep the bedside area cleaned up. In the dead of night, McMurphy, we got a thing called job description. Say cleanliness is a 24-hour job. You might have done your 24 hours worth before we got into bed, don't you think? Instead of sitting out there watching TV till 10:30. Does old lady Ratchet know you boys been watching TV most of your shift? What do you reckon she'd do if she found out about that? Well, let me tell you about this gum. You see, for years, I've been wondering where Chief Bromden got his chewing gum. Never having any money for the canteen, never having anyone give him a stick that I saw, never asking public relations. So I watched and I waited, and look here. How about that? I bet there's pieces of gum under here that's been used 1,000 times. Well, good night, McMurphy. Chief, I want you to tell me something. Oh, does the spearmint lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? When you chew it in the morning, will it be too hard to bite? This question's got me going. Won't somebody set me right? Does the spearmint lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? Wait here. Here you go. Juicy fruit is the best I could do for you at the moment, Chief. Package I won off Scanlon, pitching pennies.
Thank you.
You sound a little out of practice. Don't hurry. You have till 6:30 in the morning if you want me to listen. A man that's been still long as you probably has a considerable amount to talk about. You know, Chief, I was just remembering a time down in Willamette Valley. I was picking beans outside of Eugene and considering myself damn lucky to get the job. It was in the early 30s, so there weren't many kids able to get jobs. I got the job by proving to the bean boss I could pick just as fast and clean as any of the adults. Anyway, I was the only kid in the rows, nobody else around me but grown-ups. And after I tried a time or two to talk to them, I saw they weren't for listening to me. Scrawny little patchquill redhead anyhow. So I hushed the livelong 4 weeks I picked that field, working right alongside of them, listening to them prattle along about this uncle or that cousin, or if somebody didn't show up for work, gossip about him. 4 weeks and not a peep out of me, till I think by God they forgot I could talk. The moss-back old bastards, I bided my time. Then on the last day I opened up and went to telling them what a petty bunch of farts they were. I told each one how his buddy had drug him over the coals when he was absent. Hoo-wee, did they listen then. They finally got to arguing with each other and created such a shitstorm I lost my quarter-cent a pound bonus I had coming for not missing a day. Because I already had a bad reputation around town, and the bean boss claimed the disturbance was likely my fault, even if he couldn't prove it. I cussed him out too. My shooting off mouth that time probably cost me $20 or so. Well worth it too. What I was wondering, Chief, Are you biding your time towards the day you decide to lay into them?
No, I couldn't.
Couldn't tell them off? It's easier than you think.
You are bigger and tougher than I am.
How's that? I don't get you, Chief.
You are bigger and tougher than I am. You can do it.
Me? Are you kidding? Criminy, look at you. You stand a head taller than any man in the word. There ain't a man that you couldn't turn every way but loose, and that's a fact.
No, I'm way too little. I used to be big, but not no more. You're twice the size of me.
Hoo boy, you are crazy, aren't you? The first thing I saw when I came in this place was you sitting over in that chair, big as a damn mountain, I tell you. I lived all over Klamath and Texas and Oklahoma, and all around Gallup, and I swear you're the biggest Indian I ever saw.
I'm from the Columbian Gorge. My papa was a full chief, and his name was Tia Melatuna. That means the pine that stands the tallest on the mountain, and we didn't live on a mountain. He was real big, and when I was a kid, my mother got twice his size.
You must have had a real big moose of a lady. How big was she?
Oh, big, big.
I mean, how many feet and inches?
Feet and inches? A guy at the carnival looked at her over and says 5 feet 9 and weighed 130 pounds. But that was because he just saw her. She got bigger in time.
Yeah? How much bigger?
Bigger than Papa and me together.
Just one day took to growing, huh? Well, that's a new one on me. I never heard of an Indian woman doing something like that.
She wasn't Indian. She was a town woman from the Dallas.
And her name was what? Bromden? Yeah, I see. Wait a minute. And when a town woman marries an Indian man, that's marrying someone beneath her, ain't it? Yeah, I think I see.
No, it wasn't just her that made him little. Everybody worked on him because he was so big and wouldn't give in and did like he pleased. Everybody worked on him just the way they're working on you.
They who, Chief?
The Combine. It worked on him for years. He was big enough to fight it for a while. It wanted us to live in inspected houses. It wanted to take the falls. It was even in the tribe. And they worked on him. In the town, they beat him up. In the big. He fought it long time until my mother made him too little to fight anymore, and he gave up.
Chief, why did they beat him up in the alleys?
They wanted to make him see what he had in store for him. Only worse if he didn't sign the papers giving everything to the government.
What did they want him to give to the government?
Everything. The tribe, the village, the falls.
Now I remember. You're talking about the falls where the Indians used to spear salmon. Long time ago, yeah. But the way I remember it, the tribe got paid some huge amount.
That's what they said to him. He said, "What can you pay for the way a man lives?" He said, "What can you pay for what a man is?" They didn't understand. Not even the tribe. They stood out in front of our doors, all holding those checks. And they wanted him to tell them what to do now. They kept asking him to invest for them, or tell them where to go, or to buy a farm. But he was too little anymore, and he was too drunk too. The combine had whipped him. It beats everybody. It'll beat you too. They can't have somebody as big as Papa running around unless he's one of them. You can see that.
Yeah, I reckon I can.
That's why you shouldn't have broke that window. They see you are big now. Now they got to bust you.
Like busting a Mustang, huh?
No, no. Listen. They don't bust you that way. They work on you ways you can't fight. They put things in. They install things. They start as quick as they see you're gonna be big and go to working and installing their filthy machinery when you're little, and keep on and on and on till you're fixed.
Take her easy, buddy. Shh. Oh.
And if you fight, they lock you someplace and make you stop.
Easy, easy, Chief. Just cool it for a while. They heard you.
He finally just drank. And the last time I see him, he's blind in the cedars from drinking. And every time I see him put the bottle to his mouth, he don't suck out of it. It sucks out of him until he shrunk so wrinkled and yellow. Even the dogs don't know him. And we had to cart him out of the cedars in a pickup to a place in Portland to die. I'm not saying they killed. They didn't kill him. They did something else. I've been talking crazy, ain't I?
Yeah, Chief. You were talking crazy.
It wasn't even what I wanted to say. I can't say it at all. It doesn't make sense.
I didn't say it didn't make sense, Chief. I just said it was talking crazy. Say, Chief, why don't you come on this fishing trip with us tomorrow? Come on, what do you say? I took for it to be one hell of an occasion. You know those two aunts of mine coming to pick us up? Why, those ain't aunts. No, those are girls working shimmy dancers at Hustlers I knew from Portland. What do you say to that?
I was one of the indigents.
You're what?
I'm broke.
Oh, yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Chief, when you were full-sized, when you used to be, let's say, 6'7" or 8, and weighed 280 or so, were you strong enough to, say, lift something like the size of that control panel in the tub room?
I probably could have at one time.
If you got that big again, could you still lift it?
I thought so.
To hell with what you think. I want to know, can you promise to lift it if I get you big as you used to be? You promise me that, and you not only get my special bodybuilding course for nothing, but you get yourself a $10 fishing trip free. Give me good odds too, I bet.
How much was he going to get me big again?
Man, we can't let a secret like this out. I didn't say I'd tell you how, did I? Ooh, boy. Blowing a man back up to full size is a secret you can't share everybody. Be dangerous in the hands of an enemy. You won't even know what's happening most of the time yourself. But I give you my solemn word. You follow my training program, and here's what'll happen. There you'll be, the big Chief Brompton cutting down the boulevard. Men, women, and kids rocking back on their heels to peer at him. Well, 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 what giant this here, taking 10 feet at a step and ducking for telephone wires? Comes stomping through town, stops just long enough for virgins. The rest of you twitches might not even line up, unless you got the musk melons, nice strong white legs long enough to lock around his mighty back, in a little cup of poozle warm and juicy, and sweet butter and honey. All the men will be scared, and the beautiful young girls will be panting after you. I'm gonna go sign you up this very minute and sign you on that fishing crew. Oh man, I tell you, you'll have some women tripping you and beating you to the floor. Look there, Chief. What'd I tell you? You growed up half a foot already. Ha 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 ha.